Hi everyone, this is Homerino Collectibles, and welcome to another review of the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Amazing Spider-Man 2 Ultimate Green Goblin Build-A-Figure Collection Wave. And this time I'm going to be bringing you Carnage, or as it says on the box, Spawn of Symbiotes. Just quickly before we get into this review, I just want to remind everyone that if you click on the link in the description, you'll be taken to these guys. I'm doing a competition, and basically there's going to be two winners. You can win either the Amazing Spider-Man for this wave, and just to show again for some people that might think that I'm not giving one away because I don't have a spare, this is mine, don't need this. So yeah, you can win one of those, and you can also win a Superior Spider-Man, and mine of that is down here, still in box because I have not unboxed it yet. But basically all you have to do to win is subscribe. That's right, subscribe and win, and the contest will be ending at the end of the month, so the more friends and family and whatnot you can get to subscribe, the better chance you have of winning. And I'll just contact the winner over YouTube. And if someone is subscribed but they're not subscribed for this contest, so if I message someone and they say, hey, you know, I didn't want to be part of this contest, I don't want to win one, you know, give it to someone else, sort of thing, then I will. I'll just do another draw, and then I'll find someone else to give one of them to. But remember, there will be two winners, one for this and one for this. So get subscribing now, get ready for it, and I hope to see you at the end of the month and give you one of these figures. And on with the review. So box is standard Marvel Legends packaging these days. It's got the normal Spider-Man symbol on the top. We've got nice artwork on the side. On the back you can see, let's start with down the bottom here, you can see the Ultimate Green Goblin Build-A-Figure and everyone else in the wave. I will be getting Toxin, Spider-Girl and Boomerang, so I will get all of the running changes in due time. So then there's a better picture of Toxin, and just so you know, they are different body molds. This guy is actually bigger, so if you're thinking, you know, that there's not much point in buying it, sort of thing, there's more than enough reason to buy it. So yeah, they are completely different, stood next to each other. And for the bio, Spawn of Symbiotes, destruction and mayhem have a new home. Living in the body of the demented Eddie Brock, will the vicious Toxin out-savage the chaos-causing Carnage? So it's nice that you get a little bit of a sort of bio-ish thing there. They haven't just sort of said, oh yeah, it's just some symbiotes, they're going to go and cause some mayhem and stuff. They have at least told you who this Toxin is, and they've at least told you both of their names and stuff, so that people who don't read the comics or don't know who they are can get some idea of what these characters are. So anyway, that's enough babbling, let's get this guy out of package. First up, as always, we get the instruction sheet telling you how to put your Build-A-Figure together and what parts come with what figures. And then we also have some more fire, so just like the arms, the back of this guy gets a whole bunch of fire. And this is a pretty big, nice piece of flame. If you want to check this out, along with the Green Goblin head once attached to the figure, then you can go ahead and click on the link in the description once that video review is up, and you can go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done already for the contest, so that you're notified when this guy goes up. And here he is, everybody. This is Carnage, and he is one of my all-time favourite comic villains, especially from the Spider-Man universe anyway. Him and Venom and a lot of the symbiotes to me are just so awesome. It's not exactly what you would call a classic Spider-Man villain like Venom, where you know, but he is considered as one of his main villains now, and I am so glad that Hasbro decided to make this figure. There have been a Carnage in the past, and there's been many Carnages in the past with the different TV series that have gone on that have included him, but this is definitely the best in my opinion. Now, although it may not be what you would consider a classic villain, this is very much his classic look. So you can tell, you know, Venom's changed a lot over the years. He's become a lot bigger, massive tongue, massive teeth. You know, he's changed a lot. You know, big claws and whatnot. This guy depending on which artist you're looking at, this is either like the first version of Carnage, or you could also say it looks like modern versions. Just like Venom, he's drawn in very different ways, but this is a very, to me at least, classic sort of look for him. But you can also use him in stuff like displays for the original Amazing Spider-Man TV series, which was just epic. And you know, he's just incredible. So let's go over, well, I'd say accessories, but it's just accessory with this guy. With some of the other figures in this wave, you've got removable heads and stuff, and hands and whatnot. With this guy, you get these tendrils or tentacles or whatever you want to call them, but it's just symbiote stuff. And basically, the only one that's removable is this one in the back. It uses the Bucky Cap mold, so it's got the hole there anyway. And he looks just as good without him. Just get him to stand there. And basically, they're all made out of this rubbery, very pliable plastic. They won't take shape or anything. They haven't got wires and everything like that. They're just molded as is. Because they're in the peg, you know, you can have them however you want, so you can turn them around and use them that way if you want to. But it doesn't really matter too much. But what's great is if you want to make a custom Carnage, and you don't want to use this body mold, you could always just take the head off, because it's a standard Marvel Legends size, and then you can just take this and any other Marvel Legends figure that's got a hole in the back that you want to use this on, and then you can just put that head on, and then you can paint the body up however you want. So it's really good that whatever body mold you want to go for, if you can use that head, and if it has a hole in the back, then you can also add some tentacles to it, which is pretty cool. A really, really nice addition to this Bucky Cap body mold is the rest of it. Now, as you can see, he's got this piece on his arm, he's got this piece on this arm, he's got one on this leg, and then he has two on this leg, one just above the other. Now, they are all the same, quite pliable plastic. You can't remove them. I'm sure that with enough force, maybe with a bit of heat, they'll pry right out. I'm not sure why you'd want to, because that would leave holes in him, obviously. But, you know, it's a really good addition, because they haven't just painted it like this and just left it. I really love that it gives him a bit of, a more of a dynamic look on your shelf, because we don't normally get tentacles and stuff. What we normally get with figures like Carnage and Venom and whatnot are different heads or different hands. Now, Carnage has been depicted a lot of having an axe, like his hand turning into like a big axe. So I think it would have been really awesome to get basically, like, maybe take his arm off or something, like somewhere around here, just unpeg it, just like you can unpeg the hands, but then peg that in so he's got an axe that starts from about, I don't know, say here, like halfway up his forearm or something. That'd be really awesome. Or if we had a different head. I think that this head is really cool. As you can see, if we move in closer here, I'll just straighten him up so I can get him closer to the camera. If I focus in, we've got this really, really nice mould here. It is a newly moulded piece. He does have moulded in teeth, and they have painted a pink tongue in there. And the white is really very shiny on the eyes. Extremely nice paint there. Kind of like a pearl white. As you can see, this one's really, really, really smooth. This one, not painted as well. It's still in the lines and everything, it's just not got the same kind of glossy finish to it, but it's perfectly fine. And then, as you can see, the rest of the paint on the figure is all just these black lines. But I think it would have been awesome to maybe have another head that perhaps had a wider opening jaw or something, with a tongue out and longer teeth. Or maybe like a different artist's interpretation of how his head looks, just so that you can switch it up a little bit if you want to. But I am perfectly happy with this. A lot of people say that they don't really like how the teeth are, they want more definition, but I think that looks perfectly fine. I'm just super happy that I actually have a Carnage figure, so I don't really care about minor details like, oh, I wish the teeth were a bit more cut out sort of thing. But if you want to do that, you can always just take a little knife and just cut between those lines so that you actually get separate teeth. As for the rest of the mould, it is the Bucky Cap general mould. Well, except for the hands, obviously. We'll just take a quick look at those before articulation. That's how they look. Big and nice. They're pretty much the same as the Toxin ones, but the Toxin ones are bigger. And then as for articulation, what we have here is the head goes left and right, up very far, so you can get him in some really nice, sort of diving poses, coming at you like a nightmare situation. That's pretty damn cool if you ask me. And then as for arms, as you can see, the shoulders are a bit more of a clicky ratchet than what I have with previous versions of this mould. They all have a sort of ratchety kind of shoulder, but this one's a very clicky and secure one. Also goes up and down at that shoulder joint, swivel bicep, double jointed elbows, hands both rotate a full 360 and go in and out. And then we have ab crunch, which only goes back the one step but goes forward a good amount. We have rotation at the waist, hips go out to the sides, can almost do the splits, goes forward and back, not back too much, but it is saved by the double jointed knees. We have a thigh swivel, we have a cut at the boot / calf, and then we have ankle pivot and up and down, and he has peg holes. And then whilst we're down here looking at his feet, we're not looking at his crotch, we're looking at his feet. Eyes down here. They're very, very nicely moulded. As you can see, he hasn't just got like a normal kind of boot design like we normally get with this mould, like on the Bucky or the Hawkeye or something like that. We actually get a very, very nice classic look of how Spider-Man, pretty much all people in Spider-Man comics have had their feet drawn. Especially Spider-Man himself and the symbiotes anyway. Not really sure how exactly to describe it. He's obviously not wearing a boot, but yeah, I just love little details like that that look a lot like comics or TV shows or anything. Now, as a size comparison for this guy, he has Black Cat from the same wave, so you can see they're actually the same height at the head. Black Cat maybe just about takes it a little bit. She is wearing high heels though, so the actual character herself is about the same height. Obviously the tentacles make him bigger. And then here he is next to Spider-Man. This isn't really a size comparison as he is smaller than these two. It's just showing you what he looks like next to Spider-Man. In case you don't have another one and he is who you're going to display him fighting with or something, but definitely great to buy together. If you're going to have just 3 figures from this wave and you're not bothered about the movie, so you don't want Electro, then I definitely recommend these 3 figures. As I said, you can win one of these in my competition. And if the competition goes well, I will be doing more competitions in the future, so you never know, if you want to win a Carnage, I might get a duplicate Carnage and give away one of those. But definitely pick this guy up if you are a fan of symbiotes, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, or if you think he just plain looks cool. He's definitely varied enough in terms of adding the tentacles and stuff to be compared, next to other users of the Bucky Cat mould. So don't worry about your entire Marvel Legends collection being this one mould, because he's varied enough to look extremely different next to him and really pop. He looks awesome. Now, if you are like me and you think that the black paint, whilst it's done well and is very accurate to a classic look, if you think to yourself, well, I want a bit more of a veiny look, a bit more of a 3D look to really change up this body mould, it is a completely plain mould apart from these tentacles and stuff. So you could indeed just paint right over that and create a great custom Carnage. And I'm actually going to look on YouTube right now and look for other custom Carnages, because I'm really interested in what people might have done with this mould. And if they haven't, if they've used the tentacles and the claws and the head for something else, it'd be really awesome to look at what they have done. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching this video. Remember to subscribe if you want to be part of the contest, and otherwise I will be seeing you in the next video for the Deadliest Foes Beetle. See you next time, guys.